All right, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the NFL playoffs brings us to the home of the Ravens. Sold-out M&T Bank Stadium in Baltimore, Maryland. Straight ahead, we punch the second of 2 tickets to the AFC title game, and we've got a great one in store between the Cleveland Browns and the Baltimore Ravens. For a berth in the AFC Championship game, off we go in the divisional round of the NFL playoffs. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. They'll run on first down. Swift. Call it officially a loss of 2 on the first play from scrimmage. Second down.
A quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers playing with their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the second and the third level.
Now this one complete downfield on the left side. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. That one good for 26 and a first down.
First and 10 at the 49-yard line.
Hey, let's get some penetration here. Let's get some penetration.
On first down, Swift. And he's going to take this across the 50 into Browns territory. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6.
You don't want none, baby. You don't want none.
To throw is Mariota. Catch is made by Marquise Brown. And they're going to have another first down as he's going to be tackled at the Browns' 34-yard line.
Slant route's effective no matter who's running the route and catching the ball. But when you have a receiver of that stature, you have to be a little bit more precise throwing it. You don't have the same catch radius with the bigger targets.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
Hey, come on now, come on now. Three. Mike.
And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. They were trying to go to Brown once again, but it'll be 2nd down.
Number 53. Mike 53. Let's go one more.
On 2nd and 12, Mariota. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down.
Chances are good he's going to be a very busy guy. 2 catches already in this opening drive, and they were looking his way for a 3rd.
I think they put this defense on notice that could be a really, really frequent combination. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. To the air again, Mariota. Oh, he almost picked it. Nearly a turnover there on their opening drive. And that's a throw he'd like to have back. Now 4th down.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
That's running out of steam, and it won't get there. He left it just short, no good, and this will remain a scoreless game. These playoff games have a tendency to be tight. You have to wonder if that missed field goal could haunt them later.
Yeah, we're always looking for the key plays, right? The ones that we're going to magnify. Usually those happen in the second half or later in the game. This might be the key play of the game showing up here in the first half.
So the long field goal misses, and now the reverse. You're in a tough spot defensively. They'll start the drive at the 43.
Check. Watch the
A first carry now for Nick Chubb. And he'll take this one up close to about the 45. Michael Kendricks, the linebacker, there to get him down.
Well, he was looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple of yards out of it because those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Mayfield hands it off to Chubb. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40. 14 yards, and it's a Cleveland first down.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
You go tight. You got the pistol. You got tight right there.
On first down, they'll run with Chubb. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
All right, Brandon, I know we're in the early going here, but those kind of runs, they're going to open up a world of opportunities for this offense going forward.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4.
Regular.
A run for Nick Chubb. And he'll go down at the 28. 7 yards there and a first down. You were telling me this yesterday. This is exactly what they want to do on the opening drive, establish the ground game.
Yeah, remember our conversation? We were talking about what one of the GMs in the league has told me repeatedly. It's a big man's game, and it's not necessarily size. He's talking about playing some big boy football. Line up, get leverage, knock people back, and establish the run early.
Mayfield able to get this one to his tight end, Njoku. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
He'll get it inside the red zone, but only for a couple down to the 19.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
Point it right.
Back to the ground. This time it's Chubb. And he's going to have a first down here as he gets this one to the 17-yard line. A third down gain of 3 yards, and that'll be enough. And this will probably be the last play of the quarter. We're scoreless after 1.
Set. 180.
In your face.
Alert.
They run again on first down, Chubb. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. That really sets him back. A loss of 6.
There's so many things that go into playing the position of linebacker. Some of them are actually subtle. Doing the drill work that you do all the time in practice and carrying it over to the game. Get rid of blockers and get to the ball carrier, knocking down for a loss.
He's coming.
Here we go.
Now on 2nd and 16, Mayfield. He rifles one that's intercepted. Chidobe Awuzie with a pick.
And, Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively of getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where's he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively. Not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you've got a decent chance of coming away with the football.
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline, they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
Now flags come in. I think one of the Ravens got going a little early. The false start hurts him there a bit. Backs him up to 2nd and 9. From the gun, Mariota. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. Hollywood Brown, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd down.
When you see passes knocked down by those guys I call the frustrated fullbacks, the linebackers, you know that in their zone coverage, they were able to drop, see the ball thrown, and react to it very quickly.
After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. That's caught by the former Sooner, Mark Andrews. His first reception of the divisional round matchup, but it's good for a 1st down as well.
Let's go. And we got Mike, number 53. Mike 53. Ready? Watch it. One. Safety's creeping.
Malik Jefferson in there on the stop.
Partner, I think from our experience together, we have learned that most offensive coordinators are going to tell you, if I'm going to run the football on 1st down, I've got to get at least 4 yards. They got 5 here. They've got to feel pretty good about that one.
On 2nd down now, Swift. They'll only get a couple up to about the 30.
Some of these play calls, I think they're a little conservative. But you know me, because it's easy to sit up in this booth, right, and make all the calls and think I'm going to be correct. But I would like to see them open things up, because otherwise this defense is going to gang up on the run and shut them down.
Mike front forward. Oh, here we go. Oh. Motion.
On 3rd down, Swift. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. 10 yards there, good enough for a Raven 1st down.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. In trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
Here's a throw that's taken in out of the backfield. And they get to him after a gain of 6 to the 46.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
The Ravens on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. From the shotgun, it's Mariota. He's got it to Ingram, complete. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line.
I wouldn't be surprised to see the next step in utilizing this position is to actually utilize more of a scat back in this spot.
And a fake here. Direct snap to the up man. And the gamble pays. He's off. They get the first.
All day, baby, all day.
We remind you, as we've done all year, that coming up at halftime, we will visit with Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll let you know what's going on here on a very eventful divisional round weekend. On is the punter, Cook, who sends it away. Officially just 27 yards there on the punt. And the Browns will take over 1st and 10. The Browns drive about to get started. That opening drive ended with the INT. It didn't lead to points, but still not the way they were hoping to begin the game.
But how about going and telling your defense, thank you, a huge thank you. You said it didn't lead to points, stalled off that drive. Now they've got a chance to redeem themselves and maybe reward their defense a little bit by putting some points on the board on this one.
He had 6 catches in the wild card win, and that's his first one here in the divisional round, and it's a first down. Flush to his right. Oh, going deep here for Taylor. And this is caught inside the 5. And finally out of bounds inside the 5 at the 4. It's a big play there for the Browns. 51 yards. And perhaps now close to the first points of this divisional round game as it's 1st and goal. They'll run with Chubb. And he goes backwards on this one, losing yardage to the 7. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down.
Brings up 2nd and goal at the 7-yard line.
Now from the 7, here's 2nd and goal. They go jet sweep. This is Taylor. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. Taking it in from 7 yards away as his guys are first onto the scoreboard here this afternoon.
And that touchdown gives them a touchdown lead before they attempt the extra point. What a great way to end the half.
Yeah, great job to put themselves in front. And now, see on the sideline, special teams defense scrambling, saying we want to preserve this for the final moments of this 2nd quarter. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And you have to figure they won't just sit on the football here in the final minute. The way things have gone, they need to try to make something happen offensively.
But maybe they should. Maybe they should sit on it here because of what you just said. They haven't made anything happen offensively. Getting ready to go into the half, give them a chance to take a deep breath, exhale a little bit, and start over. I don't know if this is the time to push it myself.
Yeah, right now, under 100 yards of total offense. Once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10.
Let's get that ball, D. Let's get that ball. Check 9, check 9. 3. Follow the mic. Mike's ball. Let's go. 44, Mike.
Now Mariota. But in the end, the pressure too great, and he goes down. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game.
Check 26, check 26.
Working out of the gun, Mariota. And unable to connect, incomplete. Give them credit, they took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
This team is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. He came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
On the return, Jackson. The Browns drive about to get started. We're under 20 seconds to go in the half. I'm guessing the wise play here is be safe.
That is the wise play, because if you think about trying to fool them here, here's what you're facing. You're facing a loosened up secondary, playing a lot deeper than normal. So even if you run some type of misdirection, you're only going to fool them for a second or so. And guess what? They're so deep, they're really not going to be out of position. Take the knee, get to the locker room.
So it's on to halftime in this AFC Divisional Round matchup. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, win or go home, that's the name of the game, and we're back underway with the second half of this AFC Divisional Round. This will be taken to the back of the end zone.
Get ready, get ready, get ready.
The Browns drive about to get started. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that, because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. Working out of the gun, Mayfield. He goes full extension, and he's got it. 2 catches now in this divisional round matchup. That one, a first down.
A Hall of Fame coach once said, there are no medals for trying. And that wasn't a trying effort, was it? That was a winning effort. How about that great catch?
Excellent. They know, hey, you lose this game, you get a ding or two. You got 7 months to heal. They're going to go all out.
180. Come on, boy. Hey, alert. You better be ready. Don't be scared of it.
They go jet sweep. This is Taylor. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. A well-executed 22-yard gain.
This is one of those plays that has an equal chance of either being a big gain or a big loss. But with the college influence, we're seeing more of these plays come into the NFL.
So in Raven territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 37-yard line.
Check the 61. Matchbox lights. Check 15. Check 15. One touch.
Now Chubb. And he'll be taken down at the 33, a pickup of about 4.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
General West. Sponge. No. Hey, switch pistol. Regular. One touch.
To throw on 2nd and 6. Mayfield. Looking for Landry, and it's intercepted. Chidobe Awuzie with a pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
They'll run it now. This is Charkandrick West. And he'll take this up only to about his 18-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. On the ground, it's West again. And he's able to get up here to the 26. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Mariota now to throw on first down. It's complete to Snead. And he'll get this from the 25 to the 30 for a pickup of 5. Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5.
Tighten up, tighten up, tighten up.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
Well, that play looks familiar because we saw them working on it in practice this week. And for a lineman trying to block on this play, they love when they get the defense moving in one direction. And when they try and change directions, it's a lot easier to pick them up and ward them off.
Mariota on first down. Got a man. It's Brown. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for second down, staying ahead of schedule. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember, the last drive, they went 3 and out.
Under a minute to go in this third quarter as they come up 1st and 10. Here's West. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Getting had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. They'll run it with West. There he goes, left side. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Charkandrick West, 36 yards. As they are an extra point away now from tying this football game. Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and we are tied at 7. So all square here in this third quarter as the kick's away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. The Browns drive about to get started. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Here's Nick Chubb as they try to fire up this run game. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and it'll be 2nd and 11. 1 quarter remains for the right to advance to the AFC title game. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. From the gun, Mayfield. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Matt Judon. What a play by him. That's going to go as a loss of 13.
Okay, you know my bias is about to come out here. A lot of people think that the offense is just moving in the wrong direction. I'd say they're moving in the right direction because the defense is pushing them back.
Former defensive guy. Now, as a quarterback, 3rd and long, you really got to rally the troops here, don't you?
Yeah, you do in a big way. And what else do you have to look out for? More pressure coming at you because it seems to be working pretty well.
3rd and long for Mayfield. And this turns into disaster. He's not going to get forward progress. That'll be a safety. Well, I don't know if careless is the right word there, but bottom line, here in the 4th quarter, tie game, you can't do that.
You sure can, Brandon. And not only do you give up the lead, now you've got to turn around, punt it away from your own 20 as well. So it's really a double whammy with time starting to become a factor.
Now Benjamin. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. Now, listen, it's a team game. We know that. But where would these guys be right now, Charles, without their defense? So they take over here following the turnover. Defense did it again. But on offense, they have to feel like, hey, we need to do something.
You're exactly right. You just mentioned it. The defense did it again. They bailed them out on a number of occasions in this contest. It's time for them to repay the defense at the least. Keep the ball for a while. Give those guys a break so they can catch their breath.
On 2nd and 12, Mariota. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, 3rd down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
The Ravens on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd down and 12. He's got his man. It's Andrews. 2 catches now in this divisional round matchup. That one, a 1st down. Big hook up there. Forced to throw it on 3rd down. The connection's going to keep the drive alive and also keep the clock moving.
Yeah, and from a defensive perspective, didn't get a sack, didn't knock the ball free, didn't break up the pass. The clock keeps running on you. You're in a dire situation.
And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble.
Let's go. Let's go.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
I got you.
Now West. Denzel Ward, the number 4 pick in the 2018 draft, making the tackle from his corner spot. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
And think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
One of the bigger plays in the game thus far, and the crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down. Throwing, Mariota. Eluding the pressure right. And time finally runs out. He can't get rid of the football, and he's taken down. Jannard Avery picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon. And that one's not going to get there. Not enough juice. An ambitious effort, but it's well short. And this score will stay right where it is. Had a chance to give themselves there some important wiggle room, but it went awry.
Yeah, let's do the simple math here. And you know, for me, it has to be simple. Instead of this thing kind of giving them that wiggle room you talked about, Now we're talking about possibly losing a ball game because they left the door open.
And across midfield he goes into Raven territory. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short.
Check 52.
And again, it's Chubb. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
Well, we always talk about good down and distance, allowing offenses to expand their playbook. Well, 2nd and 2, that means your playbook's wide open. You can run just about anything. But a lot of times, the play caller, he just looks down at his sheet, sees the short yardage runs, and goes to one of those.
Chubb on first down, no room to roam as he struggles just to get back to the line of scrimmage. The UCLA product, Kenny Young, had the tackle. Seems pretty obvious defensively a key was stopping the run game. How have they done it so successfully?
To me, it seems that these guys really did a nice job of paying attention during the scouting report meeting. And you know, Brandon, when they do those, they talk about the top plays that these guys like to run. The best runs for the top running back. Those are the ones you focus on and want to take away. And they've done that pretty successfully in this game.
Looking to throw on second down. Mayfield, he finds Taylor, complete. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
A second down completion got him 7. Now here's 3rd and 3.
Alert! He's coming. We got double.
They'll run for it. Here's Chubb. And an alley to run. And they're able to get this one past the 30 to the 25-yard line. 14 yards, and it's a Cleveland first down.
Well, partner, what do you think? Might have been 4-down territory if they didn't pick it up, but...
Yeah, it's a moot point now. I was curious, so if they didn't get it there, would they have gone for it? I guess we'll never know.
Yeah, we didn't have to make that call, but I have a feeling...
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. 25 yards to the house. And once again, the Browns are back in front.
Wow, I know it's a never-say-never situation, but to me, that looks like that's the one that's going to finish them off.
The score that puts them in front here late, but not. You got to rally your kick team, don't you, and say the last thing we need is a big return.
And what happens is guys get overeager, get out of their lane because they're so excited they want to make the last tackle. You mess up, could come back at you a long way.
And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They're down here in a one-score game, but the time, it's a factor, but it's not a huge factor right now, is it?
It's really not, because this amount of time gives them a chance to run their offense, to go through play sequences. And this is what they work on every week in practice, usually on a Friday. They go over this type of a situation, late game situation. What are we going to do when we have the opportunity? They've called these plays a bunch of times. Now's their chance to execute them.
Yeah, they have the opportunity now. Here's the execution. He's back to throw. This will be caught by Brown. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as they get it with under a minute to go now in the football game.
First and 10 at the 43-yard line.
I can't believe they let you play. I can't believe they even let you play.
Mariota. And, oh, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked up by the USC man, Adoree Jackson.
And that one, oh, it's going to hurt big time. You're in the 2-minute drill trying to get your guys down the field, and it's looking like they're going to come up just short, as this is definitely not his best throw. And it'll wind up being intercepted.
The Browns drive about to get started. And checking the timeouts, they do have 2 defensively, but no real need to use them as they're not going to be able to stop the clock after that. They start on the ground with Nick Chubb. He'll be stopped shy of the 45 despite a great move. The Ravens going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the game. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7.
Hey, on 133. Check 31. Check 31. Check it back. Check it back. Protein spill.
So instead of running, Mayfield's going to throw it here. That pass just a little bit off. It looked like maybe he tried to force it in there.
Game speed, always different no matter what you do in practice. You can't simulate it, right? So your decision making, everything has to be a little bit quicker. Sometimes it can throw you off until you adjust.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. On 3rd down, it's Nick Chubb. But he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. Ravens going to use their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play. Here's Jamie Gillen now as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. One possession game. Time very much a factor. How does the offense handle this situation?
Well, in a lot of cases, they should be somewhat relaxed. And I know that's counterintuitive because this is a pressure situation. But this is Friday practice every week of the season. You go over this situation, having to go downfield, limited timeouts, got to get out of bounds and keep the drive going and set yourself up. Defensively, you can't just lay back and let them do whatever they want. So it is a cat and mouse deal here. How much pressure will the defense bring, and how much pressure can the offense handle?
We're going to find out.
Let's go. Hey, we got Mike, number 53.
Now Mariota. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And, oh, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked up by the linebacker, Joe Schobert. And he'll actually lose about 7 yards on the return, but they have possession of the football on the turnover.
At their own 12-yard line.
The Browns drive about to get started, and they've got this one in hand. No timeouts remaining defensively, so this one should just be one kneel and then handshakes. And they're moving on to the conference championship. How about this?
What a tremendous feeling to get to the game that can